Hey guys, we are back for another week, and in the beginner's class, we talked about a few ways to express your surprise. So something like, oh no, or darn, or you scared me to death, or that scared me to death. It was very scary. It scared me to death, is what we often say. But here we want to talk about how to have a conversation about something surprising that happened. So we might say something like, can you believe that happened? Can you believe that happened? And we'd say that to kind of ask someone, wow, it's so surprising. And I'm going to say that to someone so that I can express my surprise and see if they were surprised also. Usually the answer to that is always, no, I cannot believe that happened. That was amazing, or that was crazy, is what we usually say. We might also say another question, did you see that? And they might say, yes. Or they might say, no, what happened? And then you could say, the spider jumped out of nowhere. So out of nowhere is a phrase we use with things that are surprising. So here we're normal, and then suddenly, whoop, out of nowhere. Kind of like 无中生有. That's kind of making something out of nothing. It's not really that meaning as a 成语, but the same idea that there was nothing, and then suddenly there's something here. So that's out of nowhere. So if you're driving and a car came and hit you, you might say, that car came out of nowhere. It was like there was nothing there, and then suddenly the car hit me. Or if you're outside and suddenly a little spider came down and landed on your shoulder, you might tell your friend, that spider came out of nowhere. Right? So there are many different ways that we could express ourselves when we're trying to talk to people about being surprised. So what I'd like you to do is to think about what are some things that have surprised you in the last year. They could be things at your house, things that your children have said or your parents have said, or living in America, you might have many things that surprised you, something about politics that surprised you, anything at all. And I'd like you to write down 3 things that surprised you in the last year. And bring those to class. You can write them in Chinese or English or both. And we'll talk about them in class together. And we're going to make a presentation in class expressing our surprise. And we're going to do a role play. A role play is where you get together and you make a little, you do some acting to act out one of those situations. So I look forward to seeing you, and we'll do a little bit of review and then be finished. All right, so from last week, we learned some things about vegetables and fruit, and we're going to talk specifically this week. I'm going to just do a little review about some of those words we learned about talking about fruit. So I'm going to show you some pictures here, and let's see if you can remember how to describe them. So how'd you do? Did you remember? Or maybe not? That's okay. Let's keep practicing and we'll get better. See you on Saturday.